So we have a brilliant question from, you had written it down in our list as Anon, and I was like, Anon?
Who's Anon?
We have a question from Anon, Anonymous, who got in touch through Instagram, I believe, asking a really pertinent question that is very timely. And the question goes, does painting tarmac white reduce its temperature by 7 degrees, and should we be painting houses white?
Love this question.
Now, as we've said many times, it's very hot at the moment, and urban heat especially, so heat in cities is very topical. And so lots of people are trying to find ways or discuss solutions to maybe cool everything down during the day. And there's this thing called cool pavements. It's not cool as in like edgy and
your hipster pavement.
Hipster. It's
like
cool
hopscotches
as in, like,
and things.
Cold.
Yes.
Love hopscotch.
My nieces were doing hopscotch by themselves in the park the other day, and it was just the most wholesome thing to watch them. It's like little
Feels like it's
Rosie,
quite
age 2.
now.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have
when
to
I
swap
see one
legs
though, I'll
so you
jump
don't
in.
dominate it. Yeah.
Well,
I won't hesitate. I'll hop right in.
There's no
And then I'll
second
Scots right
guessing
in.
here.
Good. So, urban heat. Temperatures in the day at the moment are reaching their peak heat literally at the end of the day, I think, towards kind of between 3 and 5 o'clock. That heat has been building, absorbed by concrete and tarmac and everything, and then it just feels all-encompassing towards the end of the day. And on the whole, cities at the moment are needing far more than one night to cool down those daytime temperatures. And these form what's known as heat islands, where it's like pocket. I don't know if when you're walking around, well, Osian, you're in London, right? So, I mean, the heat must be a bit more than the southwest.
I always have a feeling that London's a bit of a heat island.
Because the buildings trap the heat, right? So sometimes you walk around the corner to a street and you're just almost hit by this invisible wall of like, whoa, that's really hot. I think that's what a heat island is. Are you feeling that?
Definitely. And we kick around near a sports centre as well. And the tennis courts, you can feel it if you play on them later at night. That stuff is just like an oven reflecting straight into your face.
That's not what you want when you're trying to play tennis.
No.
To be honest.
Yeah. I don't know how tennis players do it, to be honest. So hot.
It's those sweatbands.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They're putting in work.
When I used to play tennis, I used to have a sweat wristband and I was like, I am Nadal. Anyway, where were we? San Francisco. Okay, so this question took me down a really interesting rabbit hole online about how does reflecting light via white paint reduce temperature, if at all. So this has been really adopted in hot places. So San Francisco did this kind of en masse a few years ago to try and combat city heat. It's relatively inexpensive to paint pavements white and walls white and buildings white. But what they found is that the cost effectiveness of this was thrown into question because white shows up dirt, but then people want clean streets to wander in. And so it was actually quite an expensive cleaning process to clean the streets, to keep them white so that they could...
You're probably cleaning with chemicals as well, aren't
reflect. Yeah, probably.
Having a good scrub.
Yeah, good scrub with chemicals. And so I guess the goal of white paint is to replicate the albedo effect that happens in the Arctic or polar regions where the sunlight is reflected and it's not absorbed by dark colours anymore. But they also found there was a real problem with dazzling. So people would be walking along, they'd be like completely dazzled
blinded.
by just too much white.
You don't want that if you're driving as well.
Yeah, it actually gives you a headache. So
I mowed down 7 pedestrians. I was dazzled by the pavements.
San Francisco is dazzling. There was also an interesting study in Los Angeles that found that reflective pavements weren't actually, this is quite disturbing actually, weren't deflecting sunlight into the atmosphere, but they were actually being absorbed. The sunlight was being absorbed by people themselves.
Oh no.
Because people obviously, if they were clothed, wearing dark clothes that darker, a study found that people could feel up to 7 degrees warmer on a cool white pavement versus just traditional tarmac.
No, okay.
Because their bodies were the next available source of absorption. Yes, the next available sink.
Oh no.
White
Think
roofs.
of the poor goths in all black, just absorbing all of that heat.
If your community is overrun with goths, boy, do we have a solution for you.
We need more goths.
Somebody get out being
They're having a
cute.
resurgence though. I keep seeing people being like, oh yeah, I want to be a goth.
Really?
Maybe they've always been like that. Not for me, but anyway, so maybe instead of white pavements, we could have white roofs. So here I'm thinking like Greece and the famous white architecture of that region of the Mediterranean. Paris is a very densely populated city that gets incredibly hot during the summer. They've mused the possibility of doing white roofs and white pavements, but apparently because of lots of the buildings are very old and very protected, they would encounter a million regulation hurdles to paint the city white. So I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But there was a really cool article in 2020, so a few years ago now, that described a new reflective paint that was developed by researchers at Columbia University. It was a porous polymer.
Oh, stop.
Don't ask me for any more details. That was highly effective at reflecting and scattering infrared light. And the main thing is that it comes in colours. More colours are available.
Oh.
So the dazzling effect might not be a thing.
So we could have sort of a Balamory-style village.
Yeah, we could have like a sort of trendy
roofing.
plaster pink or
I've always said
Your
that show was
face.
ahead
Sage
of its
green.
time.
Have you?
Sage green.
Yes, true.
And in the study that was published in the journal Scientific Advances, so this is a credible study, the coating in the colour black of this new paint, this porous polymer, kept the object around 15 degrees Celsius cooler than traditional black.
Wow.
Or black tarmac or nothing
Goodness
at all.
me.
Then when it was applied to buildings, on warm sunny days, that building was up to 20% cooler. And this is black, so it's kind of like it's an unexpected colour.
Yeah,
You would think
okay.
that white would be everything. But then, and I'm coming to my conclusion, going back to France in Greater Lyon, in 2023, they ended a 2-year trial of these white, cool pavements on city streets, finding that actually the best thing overall for them was tree planting and creating living,
Sure.
and it's not a surprise shock, living green corridors were much more effective overall at reducing urban heat. And obviously this comes with loads of other associated benefits of like connection to nature, of more species, places for people to just sort of sit and chill out in the shade. And this paralleled with a wider urban like tree planting initiative across France, where France is doing quite a lot by the sounds of it, planting acacia trees, almond trees, trees adapted to hot, dry conditions, birches, holm oaks, and finding that, again, this is widely researched, but I think it's always good to have a reminder. A single mature tree can evaporate around 450 litres of water per day, and that's apparently the equivalent of 5 air conditioners working for about 20 hours per day, and that's a single
bad.
tree.
Not bad.
Trees are massively powerful air conditioners.
It always comes back to trees, doesn't
Comes
it?
back to trees. So, cool to have new technology of different paints and porous polymers, but actually nature's already come up with a solution, by the way.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
More
good
trees for cities.
question. Thank you, Anon. I think it's Anon.
Anon.
Anon. I don't know, I like the A. The emphasis on the A is a bit much.
It's a little bit early in the morning for that.
Yeah. Anyway, there we go. But we will see whether cities are going to be white or black or sage
Just
green.
full of trees.
Just full of trees.
Hopefully just full of trees.